Some nights. All right. So if y'all heard Danny singing.
Danny Fertilizer for orange and grapefruit and lemon trees.
Hold on, we ain't got started yet. I gotta figure out.
Oh my gosh. There you go, do your pop out.
Pop out first. I didn't get the TV set up so I could see a big screen.
Yeah, we can get.
Okay, now that. No, don't.
Slow and easy.
Don't touch it more than I have to, huh?
Yeah.
I don't want to cover something I don't have to. There we go. All right.
There you are. There you are, right there. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Hello, everyone. Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead.
Good evening.
And I don't know if they heard you singing or not, but anyway.
I hope not.
Singing off key over here.
No. Let's see.
So we've got a lot of people jumped in already.
Yeah. Oh, very windy Montana. Hello, Wendy and Don. Okay.
So what have we been doing? Not much of nothing. We don't do nothing, do we?
We don't ever do nothing. No, we don't ever do nothing.
Oh,
I mean, we just sit back and just do nothing all day.
No, I've been working on putting plants in my new raised beds and stuff like that. I still got the stand-up raised bed to go. I hadn't put anything in it yet. Danny's been working on the prepper shack a little bit.
I worked on the prepper shack today and yesterday a little bit.
Yeah, and
yeah,
built a bench out on the pier at the pond.
I did, built a bench. What else have I done?
We moved the citrus in the high tunnel. I mean, in the shop.
We had to. It got down to for 33 degrees. It got down cold.
And then last night only to 40 maybe.
Yeah, they said we was gonna get to 32 last night. We got to 43.
Was it 43?
Yeah, 43 degrees.
They don't know. And the night before we were only supposed to get down to 30.
No, the night before they said 36 or 38, one of the two.
And we got down to 33.
We got down to 33. Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Darlene says she's loving your catfish.
Them catfish gonna be good here for long. You hear me? We're gonna reel one in here one of these days.
The thumb is just under their picture. I'm not sure what Miss Evelyn's talking about.
I don't know what you're talking
Several
about.
people have been sick. I've noticed that with
We've been. I've noticed there've been a lot of sick people here lately. Yep. I don't know what's going on. Probably pollen. If I had to guess, I'd probably say.
Well, somebody said flu, and then another one, something, Nova virus or something. I don't know what that is. I've heard of it, but I don't know. Helen said, "Did you ring your?"
You did your onions ringing them. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Denise says, long-time listeners, first time we've made a live stream. Hello.
Hello, Denise Clay. Yeah.
Robert Mitchell said he looked everywhere for a cool box like, I missed it. I gotta go back.
Oh.
With no luck, so I bought a 7x14 closed trailer and just about finished with it. I just couldn't let you outdo me. Several people have been hunting them, so I guess they're kind of getting scarce right now.
Well, a lot of people have been trying to snatch them up online. We still see them over here in Mississippi. I mean, I think they're still on the Facebook thing over here.
Well, I sent Kayla over to Tim, and she couldn't find them, and I sent Kayla to Tim to see.
Well, they gotta get a hold of Rooster.
Well, I know, but Tim's the one that had the information.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's an inside job, guys, from the government. You gotta have connections.
You gotta have connections.
You gotta have connections with the federal government to be able to get stuff from FEMA.
Yeah. No. So Rooster was Tim's connection.
Yeah. And with a name like Rooster, and he's a Cajun on top of that. What do you think?
The sound is low. All right, I've got my sound all the way up.
Our sound is all the way up.
I don't know.
Unless on.
Let me see here. Well, that ain't it.
Your microphones are turned on, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yes. It says it's all the way up.
The lights, yeah, the volume's up, everything's up, yeah.
Does anybody else have problems with what we're saying?
Okay, Helen says, did you finish ringing your onions on your knees with the butter knife? No. As soon as we showed y'all what to do, I have a bench that I use in my high tunnel, and I just sit down on a seat and done it. I'm not gonna sit out there in that dirt on my knees. No.
Miss Lippy says sounds good. Okay. It's just some of you. Danny's computer does that, or his little tablet.
My tablet does that every so often.
It'll be so low that you have to just get up and listen to it, and the next time it just blows it out of the water.
Right.
Especially on commercials.
Well, that's like TV was that way.
Where is the thumbs up? Somebody tell them where the thumbs up is, because I don't know exactly.
It's when you first come in.
And it would be by the name Deep South Homestead. It should
Yeah,
be
when
there
you
somewhere.
first come up and you see the, what do you call it, the little icon thing for Deep South Homestead, it'll be right there with it.
All right. Danny, is there a way to build a pole or extension for an onion ringer?
Not safely, Darlene. No, not safely, because you need to be able to see
Be real close.
close to the onions, because you can get into the onions' roots really quick, because they're just right on top of the ground. So you really need to be, you know, within 16 inches of it, or at least.
Yeah, or you could scrape the side of the onions.
Yeah, or you could scratch your onion and leave a blemish in it. Yeah.
All right, so they said go out
out the
of
title.
chat and go back and look under
Yeah,
the title.
That's
Okay,
what I
thank
thought.
you, Miss Lippy.
It's under the title is what I figured.
All right, where are we at?
Oh,
All right,
boy,
so-
jump there.
All right. Now, so Danny agreed to talk about fertilizer
I didn't agree to
tonight.
nothing. Miss
Yes,
Wanda told me I had to
informed
talk
you.
about fertilizer, and I told her, I said, Wanda, what you want me to say? I put triple 13 on everything. I said, if it don't live, I know it's not a good fertilizer for it. So, I mean, that's just the way I look at life, you know? I mean...
Triple 13 everything. It lives or it dies.
It lives or it dies. That's my way of looking at it. If it dies, I go, whoo, you don't put that on there no more, you know? No, I'm just joking. There are certain things that need certain fertilizers. I mean, some things to me are just common sense, but I know everybody don't know about fertilizers. I mean, like when plants, root crops, let's just take root crops for instance. All root crops need phosphorus. I mean, phosphorus is what builds your roots in the ground. And the problem is today, well, not actually today, but that's a figure of speech. But the problem is chemtrails that has been used for years now has aluminum in it. Aluminum binds up the phosphorus in the soil so that plants cannot take it up. Thankfully, here at Pecan Grove, we've not had any chemtrails now for, goodness, what, 3 or 4 months?
Wow.
It's been a while. And
They'll
we're
be back
excited.
next week now.
Probably, now that I say it, they'll probably be back tomorrow morning. But what happens is the aluminum causes the phosphorus to bind up in the soil, and the plants cannot take it up. So what you have to do is you have to add phosphorus to the soil. We do it in the form of liquid fertilizer through the Dr. Earth. We bought a 5-gallon container from Dr. Earth of is it Bloom and Grow?
Golden
Bloom. Okay.
It is a white container
Yeah.
with black writing and some pink on it.
And pink flowers.
Because they
on
have
it.
several types,
Yeah.
but this is the one we use.
Now we do also have some Schultz powdered phosphorus that you mix with water just like you do Miracle Grow or anything like that. And what it is, when you put it in a liquid form, then the plant can take it up. But if you're just expecting the plants to take it up out of the soil without anything liquid there, it's going to be very difficult, because now they've chemtrailed for so many years now that the soil is literally just loaded with aluminum now. And aluminum also changes the pH of the soil unnaturally. If you'll look around, you'll begin to see the tops of trees starting to die. That's because the aluminum has changed the pH of the soil unnaturally, and you cannot. What is that noise?
Washing machine.
You got something in there?
No.
Oh, okay. It's one of those things that it changes the soil unnaturally, and when you see like I said, the tops of the trees beginning to die down and stuff like that, then you automatically know that the area in which you live in, the pH of the soil has been changed unnaturally, and you need to do a soil test. That's why you see Wanda and I, we're doing soil tests every year on our stuff so that we are able to know the pH. We know all the NPKs, the copper. There's about 12, 13 different
I
things
think we
there.
got a video coming up. I hadn't got that one up yet.
Okay, Wanda's making a video now because we just did a video on us taking soil samples from 2 different places on our farm here.
And the samples we use are from Grower Solutions. They cost about $30. That's the only cost it is. They mail you the kit. You do the soil, and Danny will show you this week how to do it. And they send you a self-addressed envelope. You put it in there and send it back, and they send you an email with the results.
With the results.
Usually within 6 to 8 days.
Yeah.
So
ours should be coming in any day now.
Yeah, because we did, but now I'm late on the video. But Grower Solutions is the best we've found so far for a lot of it. And we have videos showing last year?
Yeah, last year we had videos showing it in the high tunnel. I did the high tunnel last year, and you guys saw the results in our high tunnel of the peppers and different things that we had growing in there of what a difference it made, like the eggplants.
Because our peppers were struggling.
Yeah.
And when we did that soil test, Danny saw what they needed and he added it to it. And we produced over 1,000 peppers in one Vago bed. And it was amazing.
It was
they
amazing.
were trees.
Yeah.
So now, Mindless says, would 5, 10, 15 pellets work well with potatoes in a container?
Well, potatoes are a heavy nitrogen feeder. I would recommend a higher amount of nitrogen than 5% because they really need more nitrogen than that. But now the phosphorus part of it, you want to make sure it's high. Nitrogen and phosphorus, you want to make sure it's high on the potassium. What you don't want on potatoes now, not on potassium, on potatoes, but what you don't want on potatoes is to have a high pH. You want a pH of about 5 to 5.5 for potatoes. Now, we're not talking about sweet potatoes. We're talking about Irish potatoes. You want to have a low pH for that because if you get a higher pH than that, then what you get what's called alligator skin on your potatoes. They begin to get real scaly looking like an alligator's hide.
All right. Let's see where we're at. Somebody
said Brenda says my husband ordered our first soil test from Grower Solutions and collected the samples and we mailed them today. Thanks for starting. Okay. I'm just sitting here trying to make sure I can read it.
Okay.
I got it though.
Mr. Ray Ferguson said that the neighbor by him lost everything in the tornado, but he only had one tree down. I think it's Mr. Ray. I read it and then I forgot which person.
Yeah,
because
people are saying Ray Ferguson, glad it missed you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have always used 20-20-20 on my potatoes and have always had great results.
Yeah, I mean you need a high phosphorus and a high nitrogen on potatoes. You just got to have it. Okay.
It says,
what does it say?
Hold on, let me stop it because it's long. Elizabeth Green said, I tested my raised beds and containers for pH with 3 different soil testers, and every time the needle goes all the way over to alkaline. So what could be wrong? Your
soil is too alkaline. You need to add sulfur to it. It depends on what it goes to. If it goes to 7, then you're probably okay if it only goes to 7. But if it goes over to like 14 or 10 or something like that, then you need to definitely add some sulfur into your soil.
And so Nancy said what to bring down pH, and that's sulfur.
That would answer that. Sulfur brings down the pH.
Okay. Monkey Food Garden says, who built your shop and do they work in South Louisiana? We have a friend that's looking to build a shop.
We had a local company right here in Perkinston, or actually in Wiggins, that that built my shop. I don't know if they traveled that far or not. I know they traveled to the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, it's Anderson. Was it Anderson Enterprise?
Anderson Enterprises.
I think's the name. You could call them and ask.
You ask to speak to Stefan, and you can tell him Danny and Wanda sent you. He'll know who we are.
All right, let's see where we're at. We were right there. How do I get rid of wild onions around my hostas and in the garden?
Wild onions be careful about wild onions, because a lot of people don't understand there is a plant out there that looks just like a wild onion. The only way to tell the difference is when it flowers. One of them, if you eat it, it will kill you. There is no antidote for it. It wiped out many of the settlers as they was traveling across country back in the day. It wiped out a lot of cattle herds and different things. Just be sure what you're calling wild onions is wild onions. Now, I don't know how you're going to get rid of them other than just digging them up. I don't know.
All right. Do you think that graft technique would where you make roots grow on a limb would work on a pecan tree? That's JT West. Hello, Joey.
Joey, I've often wondered about that. I have never actually tried it.
We have plenty of pecan trees.
I don't know if it will work or not. I'm just being honest with you, brother. I plan on giving it a shot here one of these days and trying it. And when I do, I'll probably do a video on it. But right now, all I've ever done is fruit trees, fig trees, things of that nature. I've never actually done a hardwood tree because I don't know if a hardwood tree would work or not. Because
and all of them you did on the fruit worked?
Everything I did on fruit trees worked. I mean, it worked amazing. They're already growing and doing fine.
Okay, what is the best way to take a soil sample in order to get the best results?
We have a video coming up on that Monday or?
No, well, I don't know if
it's Monday or Tuesday.
It'll be sometime next week. I don't know.
I have a video showing you how to take a accurate soil test.
Let's see. Now, Jesus said she tried the air graft on pecans last year. She couldn't get it to work, but I've only tried the air graft a couple of times.
And have never been successful.
Okay.
Prep for Eternity said, I missed it.
We're right here?
Yeah. If we had whiteflies last year, do you think they will be back this year? Yes. We have them every year. We try to get rid of them. And I think they come in the soil. I'm just being honest. I think if you buy potting soil or peat moss or whatever, I think they come in it. I just really believe they do.
All right, now Blue Sky says, is it true the citrus blooms need to be removed during the first 2 years?
No, that is not true. As long as you keep that tree in a big enough pot and keep the nutrition to it. We've had ours bear fruit the first year that they've been planted, and we've never had a problem. Second year, definitely second year. Now, you can pinch them off the first year if you want. We never do.
You ought to see, ours are beautiful. I don't know if the videos come up where we show the fruit trees, but every one of them are in full bloom. Some of them have little, what is it, calamondins?
The calamondins are already loaded with little oranges.
Some of the satsumas have tiny oranges, little tiny ones.
The satsumas have little ones, yeah.
Some of the lemons. How are the English peas doing?
They are doing. We have a video coming up on the English peas.
We got all kinds of videos coming up next.
Tons of videos we shot this past week. That's one of the things we've been doing.
Somebody needs to edit.
Ms. Wanda has been working her tail off doing other things.
I'm on the last of the boards for the camp house.
Yeah.
I'm trying to narrow it down, and I want the boards on the walls in the camp house. So every day I've been out working on those. We've had to run to town 2 or 3 times this week, and every time we do that, it shuts our day down.
We've been in town a lot this week. I mean, I can't go into detail about what we've been in town for, but we've been in town a lot.
And I pick up plants almost every time, so then we come home and I have to plant them. And then today Jesse and Patty came, my son and his wife, and so we spent the day with them today. So editing went by the wayside.
Before we go any further, guys, there's something I want to show y'all. I think you'll enjoy this. Wanda and I are on a new adventure. As y'all know, we like to support our local businesses around town. We try to stay out of the big box stores as much as possible. One of our friends has opened up a knife shop, and we've shown y'all that already. We've been on their shows, and we've given away knives on here and everything. But what Wanda and I done was we took and looked at a lot of y'all's comments on some of the last videos that we done, and a lot of you guys used to have Barlow knives. Well, me and Ms. Wanda, we went to the company and Mr. Billy, and we asked him, could we get X number of knives made with our logo on them, the Red Stag Barlow. And what I want to do is I want to take one of them tonight, and if I'm steady enough, I'm going to try to do this where it's steady enough. I want to try to show you the new knife that we have now, that we're going to be offering them on our Etsy store if y'all are interested in them. I think it's a pretty good deal. And if you want a Deep South Homestead, I got to get where I can see this thing. Okay, let me get right. Nope. There.
Knife has to go a different angle.
There we are, right there. We had our Deep South Homestead name placed on the blade of the Red Stag Barlow. Now this is a 3.5 inch Red Stag Barlow with a high carbon steel blade. That's not a stainless steel blade. Get the box and show the name. The company that we're getting them from is a USA made company. It's called Bear and Son. They're USA made. It is a really good company. They make really good knives. This particular knife will be on our Etsy store if you're interested in a Deep South Homestead Barlow knife. Now, it's a high carbon steel, so the blade can be sharpened like razor blade sharp. It's not any kind of just stainless. That's a soft blade.
Yeah, it can be sharpened. And I don't know. Did I show them?
I don't think Miss Wanda.
Did I show them this?
I don't think Miss Wanda got her a knife.
I got a girly knife.
Miss Wanda wanted. She's got a little old girly knife here. She wanted them. She said, "Ask them, says, do y'all have a pink knife?" And Mr. Billy come out and said, "You know what? We do have a pink knife for you, Miss Wanda."
No,
said,
Seth brought it out.
Or Seth brought it. I'm sorry. Seth brought this knife out and said, "Miss Wanda, I'm sure you're gonna love this knife right here. Now, this knife is a really jam up knife for you." And I told Miss Wanda, I said, I'm out here with a switchblade toting huzzy. Now I can't believe that. I said, my wife. It is a. I don't know if I can get this where you can see it or not, but it's called a COOKBOOK knife. It is a really good knife. You know, I
can't this one. I can't pull these out.
Wanda don't have the strength. She's afraid she'll cut herself, you know.
And then to push them back, it bothers me. So this one, you can get them where you fold them back, but I'm afraid I'm going to get my fingers in it. And I wanted this one because it'll go out that way. And I don't have the strength to put it back yet, but it'll go in. I don't have to sit and fold it. So until it loosens up, Danny sits and plays with it, loosening it up so that I'll have it. But I've needed a knife that I can handle and not have to pull out like those. Yeah,
and our Etsy store now, for you guys who want to go check it out, our Etsy store is deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. You can go over there and check them out if you're interested in one. Or if you're interested in any other kind of knife.
Somebody said, is a switchblade legal? Yes, this one is.
Yes, this one is. There's a reason why. Hand me your knife and I'll show you why.
He's got to show you how come it's legal.
This knife is legal because this knife has what's called a breakaway blade. You see the blade in it? You got to have what's called a breakaway blade. In other words, a blade. I gotta get with the camera here. That's called a breakaway blade. I mean, I can hold it up, it'll fall back in, I can hold it, you know, I can shake it back out.
How do you make it do that?
Huh?
How do you make it do that?
Now
Is it there?
Yeah, it's there now. See it lock. You can sling it and lock it back.
Okay.
But if you want it to be like that, you can push it up. When it comes up like this, you hold the switch up with your thumb, and it'll. I'm sorry, pull it back.
Pull it back a little.
Pull it back just a little bit, and it'll turn loose in there, and then you can just slide the blade away. And it's called a breakaway blade.
And that makes it legal?
Yeah. And it's like that. Then it works again.
And you know what that is? To bust a window on a car.
Oh yeah, to bust your car window. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't. Jesse told me that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know that.
Anyway.
Anyways.
We're learning a lot about knives. I mean, you know, you're never too old to learn. And I've Miss Libby said the blade floats. Yeah.
That's yeah. I guess that's what they called it.
Switchblade. Tina Lake Life says it's called Switchblade Wanda. I tell you, I've had to protect this woman since I've been married to her. Now she's protecting me. You know.
Might as well.
Yeah. Laura Montano says that's a very good price for that knife. Yes, it's a really good price for that knife. The company cut us a deal so we could offer it to you all for a lot cheaper price than what you normally would pay for it.
All right, Miss Rebecca said she's got a 6-inch buck knife to fold, got the release to push down, but the blade is stuck. What would you do? What would you suggest?
It sounds like it hasn't been oiled, or if it is, then it's
it could have a piece of trash in it.
Like mine.
Today, Dan,
I have a. Let me show you what I've got. I've got it's a Chinese. It's the best Chinese knife you're gonna buy on the market. Okay. It's called a. Let me see if I can get it up here. It's called a Cattleman's Cutlery knife. Now, it's got the seatbelt cutter and all that on it with it. But this is a stainless steel knife here that is a lock blade. When you flip it out, it locks. You know, it won't go back. You have to take your thumb. There's a little insert in there, and you have to push that over, and this goes down. Well, mine got where when I closed it up like this, the point of the knife was sticking above the knife, and I reached in my pocket to pick it out, and it like to split the end of my thumb open. So what I realized was down inside this mechanism right in here, I had been planing a bunch of lumber, and one little tiny wood chip had got in here and got in between that, and it wasn't letting the blade lock down all the way. And I had to sit and take time and take a little tiny something and get that little piece of wood chip out of there.
Okay. Right here. What do you do if you have multiple raised beds? Do you test every one?
If you built every one of them the same,
put the same
and you put the same amount of soil in each one of them, the same amendments into each one of them, then you can test. I would take the soil out of a couple of different beds and mix it together, and I'd send it off.
Okay, so I think talk about this one right quick.
Now, we also have what's called these are called the Mora knife. This is a high carbon steel knife. Great if you skin anything. Now, it's not the best knife in the world if you're in the kitchen cutting up apples or something like that. The blade's just a little bit too thick for that. But it is a Swedish made knife. It is a very good knife if you're like skinning something, or if you're butchering chickens or whatever you're doing. It is a very, very, very good knife for that. Now, what I like about it is they come in an array of different multiple colors. I bought, I think I got 5 of them now, and I don't know,
4 or 5.
I got 4 or 5 of them now. When I went in there, I told them, I said, look, give me 4 or 5 of them, and
we're going to be giving away some things in a little bit, but not just
yeah.
yet. All right, Sarah Williams says, I have thornless blackberries in their 2nd year. What should I fertilize them with?
Oh, the thornless blackberries, you want, you can use 10-10-10. I would not go with anything too strong on them because berry roots are very sensitive to fertilizers. I would probably not go any higher than a 10-10-10 or maybe a 5-8-8 or something, or 8-8-8 or something like that. I would not use a heavy nitrogen, 8-24-24, something to that nature, or maybe just good heavy compost around them would work if it's a good nutrient dense compost.
All right, Susie Q, I think my pink knife was around $70 or $80. I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember what you paid for that.
I think it was
one.
around 70 or 80. I don't know the specifics.
I
You
was
could ask
thinking
Mr. Billy.
I was thinking it might have been a little bit cheaper than that.
I think it was about 70 or 75 or 80, somewhere in that vicinity. But at Deep South Cutlery, and we're going to be at their knife show April the 12th. They
Yep.
are having the knife show the 11th and the 12th. The 12th is a Saturday, and we're going to be there at the Wiggins Fairgrounds with them, enjoying the day. So if y'all want to stop by, and they said they were going to have more than just
Oh,
knives.
there's more than just knives. They got leather working people there. They got all kind of crafts. They got a demonstration blacksmithing.
Yeah.
A guy's going to be showing how to beat a knife blade out. I think out of using different metals and different things like that.
Okay, let me pop it down. It jumped. What knife sharpener do you recommend?
I use a wet rock. I mean, I don't. I have. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm butchering and I'm using the Victorinox or one of these here Mora knives, something to that nature, then I use my steel. I got a long steel rod. I use it. I also have a ceramic rod that I use. If I'm trying to put an edge on a very dull knife, then I use a wet rock to do that with.
I see somebody said they ordered their husband the knife for his birthday. He's happy. If you use a carbon steel knife for cutting baling wire, that sucker will end up being so sharp it'll cut you. You're sharpening it.
Yeah.
That is cool. Let's see. We only fertilize our blackberries once a year with 10-10-10.
Yeah. I wouldn't go over 10-10-10 with it.
They want to know what the casing on my knife is made of. It's smooth. And plus it has a clip on it, y'all. It fits on my belt.
Fits on Wanda's belt.
And it's a tight clip.
This is, it's heavy. Wanda's knife is heavy.
Is that the one with the lifetime guarantee?
Yes, this knife comes, if I'm not mistaken, if Mr. Billy happens to be in here, maybe he can tell you different.
I can't remember. One of the knives we
I
think that's the one.
I think the Cobra comes with a lifetime warranty.
Yeah, lifetime warranty. I think that one did.
They told me what this was made out of, and I honestly cannot remember.
It's not plastic.
No, it's not plastic. It's actually a heavy steel, to be honest with you.
I just don't know what it's
called.
called.
And I think that's because of the windshield breaker on it. Where if you have to break the windshield of the car to get out, it's got to be made out of something heavy.
Yeah. All right. Now let me get back to other questions. Let's see.
Let's see. Danny, where do you get your Star of David okra seeds from? I'm having trouble finding them. Is that Delane?
Where?
Right there.
Marshall Farm. Yeah, hello.
Hey, Delane. Delane, send me your address. I'll see if I can't. How much do you need? Tell me how much you need. Email me and let me know how much you need. I might be able to help you find a place to get them. Yeah,
deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com and say, hey, this is Delane, and we'll see. Custom Cutter 100 says, glad you're learning about knives. There's nothing wrong with stainless steel blades. Some stainless are far superior to carbon.
I agree, as long as it's a surgical type steel, but this cheap Chinese stainless, to me, it will not keep an edge. And I know there's good stainless steel out there that keeps edges, because surgical knives, razor blades, and all that stuff are made out of stainless steel. It's just that you got to make sure you don't get this cheap Chinese made soft stainless.
Yeah. All right. Love the color red. That's Brenda Hogan. All right. So the other thing, we're going to be giving away this Silver Run Coffee Crafters. And this is the black gold. This is a very smooth coffee for breakfast, anytime coffee. I think it's a medium dark. So it's a lighter coffee than some of them. This one I've been drinking every morning for the last few days, and I've been doing my espresso in the afternoons, and it smells like coffee, don't it?
It does smell like coffee. It smells good.
This is one of their best-selling blends here, the Black Gold, And so I'm going to be giving this one away in just a little bit. And Danny's going to be giving away a knife. And let's see.
Okay, okay, hold on, I got it. Never mind, right there. The Fredericks got a question. Danny, I live in Texas and I'm trying to grow squash this year. How can I deal with squash bugs? Thank you. The Fredericks, I can't guarantee you this will work for you, but it has worked for us very successfully. We use fish emulsion or our Dr. Earth's Golden Bloom around the base of our squash plants because it stinks to high heaven, okay? And I don't know if that stinking spray from the fish emulsion or the Golden Bloom liquid phosphorus, I don't know if that's what it is, but we seem to not have very many problems as long as we're using that, especially after a rain or if it hasn't rained in a while. You know, we try to do it at least every week.
Okay, so somebody asked earlier, and I'm gonna try and remember. I don't know who it was, but they asked how long it took the Cherokee yellow wax beans to come up. We're gonna have a video on that.
Oh yeah.
But it took what, 3-4 days?
3.
I can't remember.
Not
exactly.
longer than 4 days. It was 3 days, I think. 3 to 4 days. They're already up 2 inches tall.
We had to cover them during this cold spell the other night. I was watching your corn seed video. I learned that you really can't trust the packets. That's a little concerning, but now I know why locating Cherokee beans is so difficult. Yes, it is very difficult.
Very difficult. And Helen says, Danny, are you still eating pecans every day? Yes, I eat pecans just about. I might miss a day or two a week, but I eat them just about every day.
Okay. Missed something.
Oh, my eyes. Hold on, I can't.
All right. I'm in zone 5B. When can I plant blackberries? That's Bobby.
Oh, you're way up there. Once all the freezes and the frosts are over with, you should be able to plant your blackberries.
I don't know the name. What is the name of this knife? Is it written on the blade?
It's a Cobra, is all I know.
Cobra Tech.
It's a Cobra Tech.
But now I don't know what they call it. Just some type of switchblade. They have all these things memorized and they know these names, but I don't. I just know it works for me. Please do a knife sharpening video with the water rock. I got the rock and an old steel butch knife or something. I want you to do a knife sharpening. How about Jeff Jackson? Send me your name and address at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. We're going to send your wife some coffee. A guy that likes for his wife to have coffee needs some coffee.
Needs some coffee.
So
okay.
Jeff Jackson.
This one right here, coming up right here.
Okay.
You get it where I can see it. Curtis King, send Ms. Wanda your information. I'm going to give you the choice here. You tell me which color knife you would like to have, and I will mail you whichever one it is that you choose the color of. Okay, we got orange and red. So you make your choice up, and whichever one you choose, I will mail you that knife. So send the information over to deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
All right, let me find. I missed so much.
I don't even see Curtis anymore, so you done went way past something.
Yeah, it was way up here.
You ain't got to it yet unless it's in the other direction.
No,
there it is, right there.
Right there. That's what I'm saying. There was so much going on till I had to figure out. Do you know how many Vago beds you have? No.
No. Oh, let's see.
We just added 2, 4, 5 this week.
We got 1.
And I've got 2 more coming. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, We're around 23 to 25 of them. It's somewhere in that area between 23 and 25. I'm sure I missed
that
one.
many in the high tunnel, don't we?
No, we had 10 in the high tunnel to start with.
Oh, okay.
And we added three on one end and three on the other end.
Okay.
Four on the other end because we put the two
Yeah.
kitty ones on that end. So and then we got the new long one we put out there, and you got 6 of them there in front of the house, I think.
Mhm.
So
7.
7.
Wait.
No, 6.
I got 8.
Huh?
I had 4, and I've added 4 more. That's 8.
You got 2 11-inch.
All right, right here I got 4. I added 2 more
You got-
here and 2 more over here. 8.
Yeah, you do have 8. I'm sorry, you do have. So we probably got 25 of them.
All right, let's see. They were talking about coffee, but there was something I saw here. How is your sweet corn doing?
We got a video coming up on that
too.
first of the week, and we'll show you all. We were amazed, guys. There's something you're gonna be blown away when you see the difference between saving your own seed and store-bought seed. You're gonna see sometimes it pays to do what's right. You know, I'm not gonna give the video away, but we definitely were shocked at the results that we got out of this, and we were shocked at the corn that I got from Joey from JT West.
Yeah.
At the amount of time that it took it to come up, and I was blown.
It's looking good, y'all. Wait till you see
You
it.
just wait till you see the video.
I'm just so behind in editing till I got to play catch up this weekend. All right, so I've already given the coffee away, and I forgot to write down who that was. Was it Jeff Jackson?
Yeah, Jeff Jackson.
Let me write that down because I done forgotten. Didn't write the other one down. Do you remember who?
Curtis King.
Okay, just a minute. All right, and that is black gold. I'm not doing my bookkeeping here, y'all.
Yeah. Let's see here.
He hasn't told yet that I've seen which one he wants, color-wise.
Yeah, we haven't.
I haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it yet.
Is there a way to get a stain out of pecan hull? Make stain out of pecan hulls?
Not that I'm aware of. Now I know, Darlene, I know they are the walnuts, but I've done it with walnuts, but I've never done it with pecans.
All right, let's see where we're at now.
Okay.
Hooked on walnuts right now. Let's see.
Walnuts is good if you have migraines, I can tell you that.
All right. Have you ever drank community dark roast coffee? Wonder if one you were showing is comparable.
I used to drink a lot of community when I used to drink, and
I've drank it before years ago.
I'll tell you what, T-Bear, when you try Silver Run Coffee Crafters, you will
There's no comparison.
There is absolutely no comparison. People who have to have their coffee all dialed up, when you drink this, you can drink it black.
Lots of people go over to black. I'm not totally on to the black yet. I have cut out all sugar, and I do a little bit of creamer, and mine is as close to black as I can get it right now. I still like to have that touch of flavor in mine, but
She'll come around.
I love the taste of the coffees now.
The coffees. I haven't drank coffee in years, and I even drank it. It was good.
All right, I'm still looking for Curtis. I want the red one. Okay, the red one. All right, so that's the red one.
Thank you, Curtis.
All right. We're way behind on comments. I know I have to back it up.
Yeah, we're way behind on the comments.
Ray Ferguson says he loves Bear and Sons. They're well made. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. They're well made knives. They sure are. And we only have, now I don't know if we mentioned it to y'all, we only have 25 of these.
Now somewhere I'm seeing something about, somebody said something didn't receive something. Who was it that said they hadn't received something? If you didn't receive anything from us, contact me by email, because I have no way of knowing if it gets to you or not, especially with the way the mail service has been going. I think people get it. I had a knife that went from us to Tennessee to Texas, back to Tennessee on a truck, and rode around a day or two before the lady got it.
Yeah,
don't ask me why.
The postal service is horrible right now, guys.
And I've had about 4 people that week contact me that their stuff did not come in. and it would say that it had been delivered, or that it's on a truck and it's been there 3 days and it's not moving and stuff like that. So the Postal Service is horrible. If you did not get something from us or from Silver Run Coffee Crafters, let me know, because we are shipping out within 1 to 2 days, both of us. And I'm telling y'all, we're having trouble. Even the knife guy, when I sent the knife, is the thing that floated around forever. But yeah,
Okay.
y'all let us know.
Nancy Gould said, had to take care of my 91-year-old mom. Didn't have time to pick or prune my grapes. Will they come back? Yes, they'll come back this year. It doesn't make it. You may have to prune them this year, but they'll come back. You don't have to worry.
All right, let me see.
Laura says, I sent you a card. Have you received it? Laura, we haven't been to the post office.
I got some cards and I didn't bring them tonight, but I did get 2 or 3. Yes, and I got. We
did.
Miss Kathy's.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was, because I opened it up and read it.
Yeah, I was thinking you did.
Yes, I did, Miss Laura. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I thought so, but I did. I laid them down, didn't think to pick them up. What is the name of the espresso coffee? It's called Funky Espresso.
Yeah.
Funky. That is my favorite coffee. Now the black goes good in the morning. The 0 dark 30 is good, like a good stronger coffee. Any of them are good. Any of them. It's just probably according to which one you start with.
Molly Smith says, no kidding. My Danny corn mailed in August, arrived in October.
Wow.
Wow. Tabitha Tharp says, it is okay to place compost pile under a walnut tree. I would not put it under a walnut tree. If it was me, I would not do it.
Okay, let me get back and see if they're asking any more questions, because I've gotten behind. Meredith says, I thought it was just me. The post office has been horrible lately. Things just sitting on trucks and the tracking shows it's not moving. Exactly.
Exactly. We are noticing the same exact thing.
Tony Miles says, I bet the preacher would engrave Deep South Homestead on the knife of your choice.
I don't think he actually does the engraving. He sends it off to have it done.
They do some of the, what is it
they do,
he takes,
they change the, what do they call that? It's not frosting, it's,
like this knife, he would take and
he has a torch system that
it changes the color of the red in a couple of spots, causes a beautiful, especially the blue ones.
The blue or green.
The blue and the green, it puts a brown tint to it and spots, and it's beautiful. I forgot what he calls it. A knife person here will know what that is, but I don't know. I watched him do it the other day.
Tracy said I ordered things in November that just got delivered last week.
Yeah, it's horrible. And
yeah.
I try to chase mine down if I can, but sometimes you just can't, and you know, some things you just can't resend if you only have one of them, but now with some things you can.
Yeah, Delane said the same thing. He said, everything I've ordered the last 6 months has rode around the country before I finally get it. We actually ordered a generator here a few years ago, and we had to go through 3 times because it kept getting stole. And they had to give us our money back, and we ordered it again, got to California to get here. And finally, the 3rd time, it arrived.
Yeah. Anything that hits Nashville,
oh yeah,
that post office.
If it's either, was it Memphis, Nashville, Jackson, Mississippi, any of them places, it's just stuck. Atlanta, it's
Atlanta's
just stuck.
Bad.
Okay.
Toasting, that's it.
Toasting it, yes.
Thank you, Miss Beverly. It's called toasting.
It's called toasting.
I knew I ought to know the name, and I couldn't remember what it was. Did you ever get some Cherokee tan pumpkin seeds? Yes, I do.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
No, she's asking Tambra. Okay.
Okay, Tambra. No, we do.
We have some. If y'all will send me an email, I've got some seeds that I can send out. I just forgot to bring any with us, but if you are looking for Cherokee tan pumpkin seeds and cannot find them anywhere, send me an email, and until I run out, I can send some out. And let's see what else.
Oh boy, jump.
Jumped too far. Do you have any Cherokee tan seeds or yellow Cherokee beans for sale? Miss Starla, send me an email and I'll get you some. Do you have a video on planting grapes? Yeah, well, do we? Did we show planting?
I got the arbor. Well, I didn't plant them in that arbor.
What about 2 years ago when you bought those grapes?
I'm pretty sure I showed how to plant them a couple of years ago.
It would be on Deep South Homestead,
Yeah.
and it would be just type in grapes Deep South Homestead and see if it'll come up.
Justin the Lyman Gardner says he has a laser that does that. Yes, it is a laser that does that. Hold on. Robin Pugh says, could you please tell us again the quickest way to lower the pH for potatoes? Robin, use sulfur. Sulfur is the quickest way to lower the pH for potatoes.
All right. Child of God says, what is the best fertilizer for new or young gojies, wolfberries, figs, and blueberries?
Well, all three of them require something different. Blueberries require a very acidic soil, so what you need on them is an ammonia sulfate. On them, right when they start blooming, you need to put some ammonia sulfate and some phosphorus on them. And figs need a more alkaline soil, as does the wolfberry and the goji berry needs more alkaline soils. So you need to make sure that you've got your pH up to at least 6.5 to 6.8 in order for them to even take any fertilizer up, and then just use a plain 10-10-10 fertilizer should be fine for them.
All right, Miss Lippy put up the Deep South Homestead growing grapes. You can click on that link she's put up for you. All right, I just jumped again.
Yep.
Miss Nadia, send us an email, and as long as I have a few, I had somebody donate some that grew some of our Cherokee tans, and they donated us some seeds. And when Danny and I were going through our seeds here, I found another bag where we had saved seeds. I don't know how good some of them are, but we will share some of them.
Tambra says, I planted some Danny corn today so I can have some seeds to plant next year.
All right, Custom Cutter says, back to fertilizer. I'm thinking of adding some chicken litter to our half-acre garden. I'm thinking there is enough nitrogen to handle the sawdust, and hoping to add hoping it will add organics.
Just be careful by adding, if you're adding hot chicken manure, if it's fresh, just be careful. Now if it's composted down, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. But if it's fresh, just be aware it can burn small plants.
Miss Mary Beth just sent me an email. Is the Cherokee tan pumpkin similar to the Seminole pumpkin?
The Cherokee tan and the Seminole are actually very similar to each other. I actually have a video on Deep South Homestead. I don't remember where it's at. It's way back yonder. We grew both pumpkins and we compared both of them as far as taste, what they look like, sizes, all that kinds of stuff. You got to realize the Cherokee tan was up in the Carolinas. The Seminole was right there in Florida. And Florida and Cherokee's territory crossed quite commonly with one another. They probably, to be honest with you, both have the same mother plant somewhere down the line. It's just that they look a little bit different and they taste a little bit different.
If you didn't have them side by side, you probably wouldn't know the
difference. If you didn't have them side by side, you wouldn't even know the difference. The biggest issue with the Cherokee is the variegated leaves on it.
All right, Dan said my Danny cornbread was the best I've had.
All right. Nexit says, Danny, what do you think about the volcano in Italy? I think if I lived in Italy, I would get out of Italy, to be honest. I'm just being honest. If I lived anywhere in that region of the country over there, I would leave.
All right, Bertha says, I was told to put coffee grounds around my blueberry bushes. Does that help?
Yes, coffee grounds is higher in nitrogen, and it's not going to hurt them. It will definitely help.
Okay, it jumped again. How long should I wait to use the chicken poop in my raised beds? I have 10 chickens.
It depends on your composting technique. If you run hot compost, you could probably do it in a month. But if you run cold compost, it can take 4 to 5 months. I mean, it depends on how you compost.
Mandy Thomas said she bought some Seminole and Cherokee Tan from us in 2020. She planted them and they're about 3 inches tall. They're still viable after 5 years.
Oh yeah, they should still
Wow.
be good.
Let's see if I can get back. Which pumpkins is the best for pies? These
Yeah.
are small. They're not. You'd take 3 or 4 of them to make a couple of pies.
It'd take about 3 of them to make a good pie. But this is my personal opinion, the Cherokee Tan has the best taste of the 2 pumpkins.
Yes. Okay. Will you ever sell any of the old-fashioned petunias you grew in your high tunnel? They were beautiful. I don't know that we saved any seed. Now, I still have some coming up off and on, but I can't ship them because they will die in shipment.
They'll die in shipment, yeah.
If I save seeds, I probably could, but I'm not big on saving flower seeds. I do have a flower seed that I've saved that I thought I would package up and send out to people off and on, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that. Do you soak your pecans before you eat them?
No, we don't soak them before we eat them. And I know what you're doing it for, but no, it's like almonds. If you soak almonds before you eat them, it's supposed to cut back on inflammation in the body. And actually, it's the skin on the almond that actually causes the inflammation. And it's better to digest if you soak them. I mean, I'm aware of all that kind of stuff, but no, we don't.
Lori said, can you plant tomato plants where you had pigs last year?
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a problem.
All right. Jean wants to know any tips on growing blueberries.
On growing blueberries, number one, soil pH. If it's higher than 5.5, change it before you plant the blueberries, because they will not grow efficiently.
In an alkaline
soil, they just will not grow efficiently.
All right, the link to the coffee is silverruncoffee.com. silverruncoffee.com. And on Facebook, they are Silver Run Coffee Crafters. And they do a live on Monday nights where they give away some coffee. They will also give away coffee, either a French press or an espresso, little small ones. And if they ever get to 65, they give away a grinder, a bird grinder.
Yep.
So,
Molly Smith says, will Cherokee Tan do okay on a trellis? They will do fine on a trellis. It's just that you better have a good trellis, because them suckers will grow 30 to 50 feet long. You better have a long one.
Ask me how I know. I put them in my high tunnel, and Danny liked to have had a fit.
I like to have a fit. I said, what did you put them things in this high tunnel for? And them things took off, grew 36 foot from one end of it to the other. And we had to stop them
everywhere. I had them everywhere. So they will grow on they'll grow in high tunnels. Ask me how I know. Hoss Tools done the same thing. They didn't have them trellised.
Yeah.
They planted them in a high tunnel
to raise
for seed, and it took it over.
Took over the high tunnel. Charles McCulloch says, when should I prune my blueberry bushes in Georgia? It doesn't matter where you live at in the country. Blueberries are always pruned as soon as you get through with the harvest. Prune them right after you get through harvesting.
Thank you. This is another one of Love and Faith's T-shirts that I have on tonight.
Sarah Williams says, can you tell me where you get your 10-10-10 fertilizer or the brand? We get all of our fertilizers from a local feed store right here in town. He gets most of his from Kentwood, Louisiana. It's called, what is it called? Plant Dynamics?
Something like
that. I think it's something like that.
My Crooked Little Homestead said her pineapple trees are doing good still. Miss Fran said, ask for prayer. Her sister passed away this week.
Okay.
When using the mineral containers, are you concerned about leaching?
No, I don't ever worry about that. I mean, I feed my cows out of these tubs. If my cows can lick out of them and eat the minerals out of them and stuff like that, I don't worry about leaching. Main thing you have to worry about leaching with any kind of plastics is if it gets extremely hot.
All right. Where are we at?
Tammy Stafford said, I still have blueberries in the freezer from last year. Guess what?
We do too.
So do we. And it's almost time to start picking them again here before long.
Can they grow cherries in Texas?
You can grow a tree in Texas that's called a cherry tree, but it's actually it's not a cherry.
It's not the original.
It's not the original cherry. Now they do have a miniature cherry that will grow in the south down here. I can't think of the name of it. I'm sitting here trying to think of the name of it, and it's just slipping off my mind. But yes, if you can find a southern cherry, you can grow it. But the northern ones, no, they don't do well here.
All right. Do high tunnels need to be positioned a certain direction, like east, west, north, south, or does it matter?
It depends on where you live at in the country. If you live in the south, let's say east of the Mississippi River and you live in the southeast, we try to tell everybody to face theirs northeast and southwest. That's so that when hurricanes come in and stuff like that, you don't get to blow against the brunt side of it, and in the wintertime you get the most exposure to sun.
Okay. This one, do you think I pruned my grapes too late? There was no evidence of budding or growth, but the vines wept at every pruning point. Have I ruined my grapes?
The way you'll know you've ruined your grapes is where you pruned them at, if they're sitting there dripping liquid out of them. Because if you clipped them off and they healed over quickly and dried up, you should be fine. The problem is right now, it's still pretty cool. My grapes, I pruned about 2 weeks ago, and they are just now beginning to pop out with some little bitty leaves on them. So I knew I didn't do mine too late.
Can you provide the brand name of the popcorn you both like?
Oh.
McCaskill Family Farms in Braggadocio, Missouri.
Yes.
If you type in McCaskill, McCaskle, Family Farms, Braggadocio, Missouri, tell them Danny and Wanda sent you the popcorn and the rice. We buy our basmati rice from them too, and we love both.
Yes, Monkey Mama said it's the Barbado cherry.
That's it.
That's it. It's called a Barbado cherry. It's actually a tropical tree, but does have cherries on it, and they do have I think they got 4 or 5 seeds in each one of them.
All right, Miss Lippy put up McCaskill Family Farms at place to find them. Danny, I'm having issues with getting my banana trees to really take off growing. What do you think I need to do to them?
Banana trees are heavy, Gail, they're heavy nitrogen feeders. Because they have a lot of green foliage on them, they feed heavily on nitrogen. And the biggest problem is most people skimp on nitrogen. So make sure you get some nitrogen around them, and I think they'll be all right.
All right. James King says, what do you side dress your corn with?
It depends on, James, it depends on which time I'm actually fertilizing my corn. When I first plant it, I put triple 13 out when I'm first planting it. And then when it's 8 inches tall, I put ammonium sulfate to it. And then when it's about 12 to 16 inches tall, I hit it with ammonium sulfate mixed with triple 13 again at a pretty high rate, and I don't fertilize it anymore after that.
Okay, somebody asked about the razzmatazz grapes.
The razzmatazz is out there and it's still alive.
It has actually put on some growth.
It has grown a couple of feet, but and I'm fixing a pile of rabbit fertilizer around it just to see this year if it will actually get a foothold and start growing. All the other grapevines around it are doing perfect. That one is just sitting there. It's not doing anything like I want it to do.
Robert Mitchell said he bought the pole saw that you showed a few weeks ago.
Tell me how you like it, Robert.
Danny's been wearing his out.
I've been using the fool out of this one.
We've cut down about 40 acres worth of trees here lately.
Boy, I've been trimming and trimming and trimming.
All right, what kind of soil tester do you recommend?
Soil tester? The Grower Solution.
They may be talking about those little...
Oh, you're talking about the kind that you stick in the ground to check the soil
We have
with?
one, what was that called?
Katoli. Katoli. We have a video on it. It has been one of the best soil testers that I have ever found. It tells you the moisture of the soil. It tells you the pH, the relative humidity of the soil. I mean, it tells you all that kind of stuff about the soil. And I think am I correct? Katoli?
Something like that. Curtis King,
Nancy.
Deep South,
Oh, okay,
Deep South Homestead at gmail.com. I don't know if you're what you're doing to have trouble, but just try to send it to me at least, you know, after a while or tomorrow. I'll keep checking for it. Thank you, Nancy Kegg.
Nancy Kegg said, just want to say thank you for the videos of gardening and your wonderful porch time videos. Thank you so much, Nancy. We really appreciate your kind words.
All right, prayers for our country, prayers for Miss Leslie. I lost it. It's somebody else. Miss Vaughn.
Joanne Lesnar says, what pole saw is that? I missed that video.
It's on Pecan Grove.
It's on Pecan Grove, our Pecan Grove YouTube channel. It's called a CC.
Yeah.
Pole saw.
SEESII.
Yeah, it is a very, we got the link for it in the description on our video. Yeah, it is super light, super strong. It's a 21 volt. It works great. I mean, I have used that thing like crazy.
All right, so Howard and Renee says, how do we get rid of worms in pecans? There's a very old, huge tree with dozens of seedlings around it. Every year they have worms, or they rot before they're ready.
The only way you get rid of worms in pecans is you just have to spray the trees, and we don't spray our trees here. Luckily, if you do a really good cleanup around the trees every year, especially get rid of the leaves, get rid of the old pecans, get rid of all that stuff out from under the trees, take it somewhere and put it in a pile and burn it. That has been our best means of controlling the insects in the pecans.
All of the air grafted trees took, and he has planted them out in the fruit orchard he's doing, and they're all living and doing great. He didn't lose any of them. That was really good.
Yeah, I didn't lose any of my air grafted trees.
All right, Mr. Clifton said the older people, when I was growing up, always kept a radio on in the barn and said it would keep critters away. Is there any truth to that?
Mr. Clifton, I used to train animals for show animals and stuff. In these, like when you would go to these, like the Dixie National Rodeo and all that kind of stuff, we would show our animals. And what that does, when you leave a radio playing in a barn or something like that, animals, your own personal animals, get used to the noise, and when they're around people, they don't get spooked very easy. It kind of helps them have a calmer atmosphere about them when they're around people, and they don't get jumpy and spooky. As far as keeping critters away, in the beginning, yes, it will, but once the critters realize that that's just a constant noise, they won't pay any attention to it after a while. Now, if you change the type of noise that it is, yes, they will stay away. But if you leave it at just that same noise all the time, they get used to it.
All right, Mr. Robert Mitchell said he loves it. It's a lot lighter than the gas-powered.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Tater Tot's right. Y'all go over to Pecan Grove if you're not a subscriber over there and join us, because that's where all the gardening's going on. We're really not doing a whole lot of anything on Deep South Homestead except our live
and our porch
time. And we have a lot of people say, you know, why do you have two channels? Well, Deep South Homestead has always been the property at Deep South Homestead. And we didn't want to combine the two on the same YouTube channel.
Right.
We did put some in the beginning over there, just a few videos that we were gardening while we were still living at Deep South Homestead. But now that we live on Pecan Grove, we're trying to keep everything over here, and we still are Deep South Homestead at Pecan Grove, actually is our official title there.
Yeah.
A lot of people asking for prayers.
Oh, back up one here. Oh, my husband is wondering what is going on. I purchased that pole saw and the push mower that Ms. Lippy and Mr. Buddy recommend. Okay. She's just sitting there chit-chatting. Okay, I seen it was in large letters, and I thought somebody was asking something.
Okay.
The Countryman Network says, does the South have more tornadoes than the North? No. You have more tornadoes through the midsection of the United States than you probably do in the North. Especially when you get around Texas, Oklahoma, North Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas, up through there. There is a lot more tornadoes than they are, and two, it has to do with the storm and the lift and the cape and all that kind of stuff. It really depends on how many tornadoes you have.
All right. Allison says she heard playing talk radio in your chicken coop would keep raccoons away at night. Some of them that get pretty vocal and get up and down. Like if you had if somebody's just monotone and talking like this all the time, no, they're not keeping nothing away.
They ain't keeping nothing away.
But somebody that's very vocal and gets highs and lows and back and forth, that would knock it doing pretty good.
Yeah. Pac-Man says, what do you think about tomato grafting? Seems very interesting. Tomato grafting is a really good system about creating tomatoes that are very disease resistant. Now sometimes it takes several years to actually breed up something that is as disease resistant as it needs to be, but you can come up with some pretty good varieties of tomatoes and disease resistance by doing it.
We have Miss Beth and Miss Cammie and several of them we want to remember in prayer. Their husbands, some of them are sick, some of them have passed away. I'm not remembering which one's which, guys, but I'm watching the chat.
Darren Blummer, is that what that says?
Something like that.
Says, what is the best time to air graft? Anytime the tree has leaves on it is a good time to air graft on it. Tony Miles says, do loquat trees self-pollinate? Yes, they are self-pollinate, or ours are anyway. Let me put that.
Thank you, Miss Lynn. She just said she enjoyed watching.
Okay.
Miss Lippy says she played a tune of steel on the raccoons. Oh, yeah. That steel works well.
That's steel, or lead or steel, either one. You save the liver from your cows. I've heard that it is healthy. If we keep the liver from our cows, it's to fish for catfish with. We usually give it away to somebody who actually wants it because we're not big liver eaters.
But liver is good for
people. It is good. It's high in iron.
Chicken livers.
Now we do like chicken livers, but beef liver is just one thing that we don't have a taste for, even though it's very high in iron and it's very good for you. If we had to, yes, we would eat it. Yeah.
Okay. We're a little over.
Okay, we
are.
Got
one. Were you gonna?
I'm just gonna give it one.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Let's see where we're at.
Okay. I ain't thought.
No, that's your fault.
I know it. Oh my goodness.
We got a lot of people asking for prayer for multiple different reasons.
Reasons. Oh yeah.
And some put Kevin Stubbs in the chicken coop. Now, y'all, Danny's got a funny story. You got time to tell Kevin Stubbs' story on chickens?
No, I can't. I ain't gonna tell. I ain't gonna talk about Kevin yet. No. I have a good story about Kevin with his chickens. But,
he bought some chickens from us one time. Y'all, when we have more time, we'll talk about Kevin Stubbs and his chickens.
Yes.
So I know John Merritt knows Kevin Stubbs.
He must know Kevin. Kevin and me is really good friends. I love Mr. Kevin now.
And I do have a video here on Deep South Homestead of Kevin. he and I did kind of an interview several years ago
Yep.
about his cancer and what he was doing since he had cancer. And now I can't remember if it was 10 or 12 or 15 years. He said the other day that he'd been cancer free. I think it was 12,
Yeah.
but I won't say for sure.
JT West says, trick for catfishing with liver. Use pantyhose, holds it together. Yes.
You can't find pantyhose
Yeah.
hardly anymore.
Well, they don't make pantyhose down south anymore, Joey.
The women down here got
The women down here don't wear them things no more. For you older people, those are called step-ins. You know, just a little bit. They only went up to their knees.
That was the knee highs.
That was the knee highs.
I think you can still find the knee highs.
You probably could still get the knee highs.
But the pantyhose, they don't make them. I mean, you don't find them as much as you did when we were young. They don't. They just people. It's too hot, and we got the humidity, and then things cling to your legs, and they don't want to come off.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah, Joey's right though. You take them pantyhose, put that liver in it, put that hook on it, it's there.
John Merritt says, "Yes, ma'am. I know Mr. Kevin. Good people."
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So let's have our prayer, and then
All right.
see if Danny has a tip.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You look rough.
I've had a rough day.
No, you hadn't yet done nothing.
Bull. You're gonna make me really look bad now.
No, I didn't fix the other side now.
There you go. I don't really care. Come on.
Okay.
Calm down. Father, we're thankful for the beautiful day you've given us, and we're thankful for the just a blessing of life. The fact that you've allowed us to just wake up this morning was a blessing, and there's so many here tonight, Father, that's put out prayer requests. Some of them even close to my own heart, that's lost their spouses, and Lord, that can take a toll on a person who's used to being with someone all the time, and then all of a sudden you're just at home in an empty nest, and you miss that camaraderie, you miss that companionship that you had with someone. And Father, that's where I learned in my own personal life that I learned to lean on you, and I learned that you've told me in Scripture you was a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And Father, you proved it through the loss of my spouse. And I'm praying here tonight that those that's lost their spouses, that you would do the same for them, Father. That you would become their companion and help them to find solitude and to find peace in the quiet times of life whenever they miss their spouse the most. Now, fill that void for them, Father, as you did in my own heart. And Lord, we just think about the ones that are going through cancer treatments. They're always close to our heart because we know all about cancer and what goes on with it, Father, and we've lived it for 6 years, and the toll that it takes on a person's life, Father. And I pray for healing for the people who have it now. And for those who was willing to give a praise report saying that they were cancer-free for so many years, Lord, that's a blessing. It just goes to prove that you're still on your throne, you're still answering prayers, and there's still hope, Father. Now, we just want to pray for all the others, our country. People have mentioned praying for our country. Lord, we lift our country up tonight, and we pray for it. Pray for our leaders that they will use sound wisdom and godly wisdom when they make decisions, Father, and stamp out the evil that's dragging this country down now. So many other requests was made tonight, Father. I know there's financial needs that need to be met here tonight. I know there's physical needs. I know there's spiritual needs, Lord. There's needs that was so personal that people didn't even want to mention them. But Father, you know the intent of the heart. And we just pray that you'll look down upon those and you'll be kind and merciful to them and answer them in a way, Father, that'll benefit them, but also glorify you and your kingdom now. So go with us throughout the remainder of the night. Help us to rest good tonight, be able to rise up tomorrow to go about your will for our lives. And forgive us where we failed you. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Oh, boy, oh boy. Now, let's see here. What can we talk about tonight? Oh, man.
What do you think of sardines, anchovies, and Spam as backup? I don't eat any of them. But if that's all I had to eat, I guess I would. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I would hunt something that I like to eat. Now, if that's something you like to eat, yes, that's a good backup.
It's got a lot of protein in it. I'll say
Yes.
that. You got a lot of protein there.
That would be a good backup for somebody that likes those things. I don't like tuna fish, so it wouldn't benefit me to save tuna fish as a backup for us because I can't stand the smell of it. I couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
But now,
if you like boiled eggs and tuna fish and mayonnaise and all that mixed together to make you like an egg salad or a tuna salad,
yeah.
Lots of people eat that stuff. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Everybody wants a tip, and I'm sitting here, guys. I've been so busy this week. I've about wore myself out this week, trying to keep things going around here. The biggest issue I've seen coming up in this country is the simple fact, as y'all know, we are moving closer and closer to a national crisis going on in this country. And not only a national crisis going on in the country, but the fact that the weather is going to be playing a huge part in our country. So be aware of that. Be aware that the weather is going to be changing, probably not for the better for a while. We're going to go from, you know how you always just love the seasons to just gradually convert from one to the other. You like to go from winter to spring, and then from spring to summer, and from summer to fall, and then back to winter again. Well, when you go into a solar cycle like solar cycle 25, you have extremes. You go from just one massive issue right into another massive issue. You don't really get that mild transition that takes place in normal weather patterns. And if I had to tell you anything, I would just tell you to prepare to go from just being cold to just being hot. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to wake up some mornings and it's going to be freezing outside, and before the sun goes down, you're going to already be so hot you can't stand it. And then you're going to go from just being so cotton picking wet you can't figure out what you're going to do or whether you can even get in the garden to begging for rain within a few weeks, because the intensity of the sun is going to suck up any moisture that's in the ground to the point where your plants are going to struggle. My concern this year is that the UV rays from the sun is going to do more damage to the plants, because we don't have the ultraviolet rays coming off of the sun in solar cycle 25 that we would normally have to protect us and our plants from different viruses. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to see more people getting sick earlier in the year here, simply because the UV rays that protect us from viruses is just not there. And if it doesn't protect us, it's not going to protect our plants. Our plants are going to struggle more and more. That's why I always try to impress upon people to try to save as many of your own seeds as you can and acclimate them to your environment. That's one reason I went to Mr. Jerry when it come time to get peach trees. I went to a guy who lives 15 to 20 minutes from where I'm living at to get these trees from, because he's had them on his property for 60 years and they're already acclimated. And guys, that's what I try to tell you to do. Don't always depend on a store to get your seeds from for growing. Try to find somewhere that's in your general region, or somebody you know who has grown seeds in a certain zone. We're 8B to 9. We're between 8 and 9. They don't ever know really which one we are. It moves back and forth. And that's why we tell people when we ship seeds out, we'll tell you, our seeds are acclimated for this zone right here. Now my Danny corn, thank the Lord above, we have shipped that stuff all the way to Michigan, Montana, and everywhere else, and people have had amazing results out of it. So, and if they was to keep it and save their own seeds and acclimate it to their environment, it would become even stronger. That's the reason I planted Joey's corn this year. Joey's corn's from North Carolina up here. I brought it down here to the deep south, or he shipped it to me. I'm going to plant it this year and see how it does. And if it does good, I'm going to save those seeds. And you know what? I'll plant them again. And I'm going to, like I did Danny corn, I'm going to breed up a variety of the Jimmy Red that is very acclimated to our environment. So that, if I had a tip tonight, it would be to try your best to acclimate seeds to your environment and learn how to save seeds. That's probably going to be the one biggest thing that a mistake, let me put it that way, that I see people make about trying to save seeds. They want to plant several different squash varieties and try to save their seeds. It's not going to work. They want to try to plant several different tomato varieties and save their seeds. Not going to work. And keep a true variety. They want to try to plant 2 or 3 varieties of okra. Save their seeds. It's not going to work unless you put them at least 100 yards apart. You know, I mean, be conscious. Corn can pollinate up to a mile away. So be aware of that whenever you're trying to save your own seeds. Because it's not as easy as it sounds like it is. Now, will you get something to grow from them? Yeah. Many of them will grow a product that may not have any good taste at all. And you know what? Sometimes you may stumble on something that has the best taste in the world. We always tell people, you know, land-raised seeds is probably some of the toughest seeds out there on the market. Wanda and I, the seeds that we've got, we've been saving these seeds over and over and over.
We planted some really old seeds this past, a week ago, and y'all gonna be surprised.
You're gonna be surprised when you see what we show you in the garden when these videos come out this coming week.
Now the squash we're still waiting on.
Well, the ground is cold.
Yeah.
The ground's still too cold.
33 degrees.
Yeah, we planted it in 2 days. It went down, or 4 days. It went down to 32 degrees. So I mean, yeah, the ground is still too cold.
When it warms up, we're hoping that everything pops.
We just hope they don't rot before they come up.
Yeah. Well, it hadn't rained, so I mean.
No, we ain't had no rain.
We got some pretty dry dirt.
Yeah, we got some. Matter of fact, I tilled the garden just 2 days ago, and it was so dusty you couldn't even see me on the tractor hardly. So I mean, yeah, it's still bad here.
Okay, so we've got to go, and we hope you enjoyed tonight. And Danny gave y'all a little bit of help with some fertilizer questions.
Yeah.
I knew that was like a main thing right now with a lot of people, is trying to figure out what fertilizer to add to what. And you can always Google stuff, and it will give you whether it needs to be alkaline or acidic. That would help. And if you search long enough, sometimes you can find what to add actually to stuff.
One of the questions back there want to know about, is it safe to live next to the Canadian border? Well, I'm going to tell you guys something, and take this with a grain of salt, okay? If things keep going the way they're going, there's parts of Canada that might very well become parts of the United States. Because when certain things happened in Great Britain here a year ago, certain countries come out from under the crown. And when these countries come out from under the crown, they are beginning to make their own decisions about what they want to do and who they want to be a part of, or whether they want to just be independent and stand on their own 2 feet. So be aware that there is some things that may change in the very near future.
Joey said, Lord willing, he'll have plenty of Jimmy Red this year. He's planting 3.5 acres.
Oh! All right. Joey fixing to have some corn.
Oh, he must be having some critters out of it. He's gonna have a lot of corn.
He must have him a grist mill somewhere nearby. He's gonna be grinding him some corn.
He could be making a trip deep south or Pecan Grove, and we could grind him some corn.
I could grind you some. I sure could. We'd hook that old cub up out there and get that baby going.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will talk to you next weekend if nothing happens.
Hopefully we'll see y'all in the next video.
On Pecan Grove.
If I'm not mistaken, Canada's already independent. I'm pretty sure when they come out under the crown, I'm pretty sure they went independent. And if they did, that's
their own decisions.
It will be their own decision, and I think that's why Donald Trump made the comment they could become the 51st state. He knew they come out from under the crown, and we'll just have to see how all the tariffs and all that works out with them. It's going to be an interesting year. Let me put it to you that way.
On all accounts.
On all accounts, yeah. Keep your eyes on the Middle East, guys. There's some things fixing to happen over there. Thank you from Pecan Grove.
Nope.
It is Pecan Grove.
We're on Deep South tonight.
It don't matter, but it's still a Pecan Grove. No, I'm just joking with you guys. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.